Hey everyone. In 1977, NASA launched the Voyager spacecraft to explore the outer planets and beyond. Attached to each Voyager is a golden record, a time capsule carrying sounds, images, and messages from Earth, designed as a greeting to any intelligent life that might find it far out in space. If another form of intelligence ever retrieves the Voyager golden record, what they encounter will not be an objective snapshot of humanity, but rather a carefully curated collection of sights, sounds, and messages shaped by the hopes, values, and limitations of a small group of scientists who, nearly 50 years ago, sought to capture the essence of an entire species and its world. Today, let's know about what the Voyager record says about us if aliens ever see it. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Somewhere beyond the edge of the solar system, a metal disk drifts through the cold expanse of space. It is attached to a spacecraft built in the 1970s, powered by radioactive decay and moving farther from Earth with each passing hour. The Voyager golden record is fixed to its frame. It carries no signal, emits no greeting, and was not designed to call attention to itself. Yet, it contains a message. If another form of intelligence ever retrieves it, what they encounter will be the result of a decision made by a handful of scientists nearly 50 years ago. The two Voyager spacecraft were designed to fly past the outer planets and then continue outward into interstellar space indefinitely. They were not built to return. In 1976, while the spacecraft were still under construction, astronomer Carl Sagan proposed adding a message to be carried aboard. It would not transmit. It would simply travel with the spacecraft, a silent ambassador drifting through the cosmos. NASA approved the idea and appointed Carl Sagan to lead the project. He assembled a small team that included Frank Drake, Andrew Druyan, Linda Salzman, and Timothy Ferris. They were given less than 6 months to create a comprehensive audio-visual portrait of Earth. The result was a phonograph-style disc containing images, natural sounds, music, and spoken greetings in dozens of languages. The golden record was made of copper, plated with gold, and housed beneath an aluminium cover mounted to the exterior of each spacecraft. Etched into the cover were instructions for playback based on universal physical constants, such as the hyperfine transition of neutral hydrogen, and a diagram showing the locations of 14 pulsars along with their frequencies and distances. The goal was to make the contents intelligible to any form of intelligence capable of recognizing patterns in physics and mathematics. In essence, it was not created to impress, but to be understood if, of course, it is ever discovered by an intelligent species. The audio portion of the record includes 90 minutes of music from around the world, ranging from classical works by Bach and Beethoven to traditional songs from Peru and Azerbaijan, Japanese shakuhachi flute music, and a rock and roll track by Chuck Berry. It also features spoken greetings in 55 languages, beginning with Akkadian and ending with Yiwu. The record contains 116 images encoded in analog format. These include diagrams of DNA and human anatomy, photographs of people eating, working, and giving birth, images of architecture, agriculture, and tools, and visual representations of scientific knowledge such as mathematical equations and chemical structures. One image depicts a string quartet performing. The sounds of Earth are arranged in a continuous sequence, forming an ambient portrait of the planet. They include recordings of waves, wind, thunder, bird song, footsteps, a heartbeat, laughter, and a kiss. The greetings are brief audio clips of people saying hello in dozens of different languages. There is a written message from the then President Jimmy Carter, who described the record as a present from a small, distant world, a token of our sounds, our signs, our images, our music, our thoughts, and our feelings. Also included is a written greeting from Kurt Waldheim, who was Secretary General of the United Nations at the time. The selection process was shaped by limited time, available technology, and the personal judgment of the small team involved. They deliberately excluded depictions of war, weapons, religious ceremonies, and political ideologies. Instead, the emphasis was placed on science, the natural world, and cultural diversity. The record was never meant to document a full history of civilization. Instead, it was a curated view of life on Earth during the 1970s. The exclusion of conflict was intentional. The team focused on peaceful and cooperative imagery. We are obviously not a peaceful race. The Voyager Golden Record captures a snapshot of the late 1970s with music and images chosen quickly by a small team based mainly in the US. It reflects the era's technology and culture, aiming to represent humanity broadly. All content is analog, no digital files or modern references like AI or climate science. It shows Earth through mid-20th century science and optimism. A unique inclusion is a 1-hour EEG recording of Anne Druyan's brain activity expressing her thoughts on life, relationships, and Carl Sagan converted into audio without explanation. Today, the record remains aboard both Voyager spacecraft drifting beyond the solar system. It carries no updates or explanations beyond the etched cover diagrams. Created quickly by a small team without international input, it reflects their choices, content meant to be understandable, non-threatening, and representative of Earth life at the moment. In 1977, the team worked swiftly with only a few months to decide and prepare the materials. There was no global consultation or institutional review. The record was assembled under tight deadlines with content chosen by a small group based on what was accessible and agreed upon. Voyager 1 is now over 24 billion kilometers from Earth and still responds to commands, though some instruments have failed. Voyager 2 follows a different path, farther behind. Both carry identical golden records. The discs remain attached to the spacecraft, protected by aluminium covers. They don't transmit or navigate, drifting on trajectories set decades ago with no specific destination. Whether the message will ever be found is unknown. It endures, analog, attached, and built to last. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdies Discoveries. If this story sparked your curiosity, subscribe and keep exploring. May wisdom guide your path always. See you in the next. Bye.